Hello. Hey. So this is a little bit of late afternoon doom and gloom to wake you up a little bit, get you fired up. I work at the Centered Robotics Initiative, and we look at societal implications of robotics. Today, we are going to be talking about labor implications of robotics. Now, Ty Brady from Amazon Robotics has gone on record in saying that automation killing jobs is a myth. I'm not so sure that it's a myth as much as a trope. If any of you have paid attention to advertising recently, you'll see that robots taking jobs is very, very popular in the American psyche right now. As this ad from Prudential outside of Boston shows, robots can't take your job if you're already retired. Great message for boomers, not so great messaging for Gen Z. But how true is this trope? Well, if we look at manufacturing between 2000 and 2010 in the US, we put in a lot of automation. And what did that do? We lost 5.8 million manufacturing jobs in the US between 2000 and 2010 during a period when we should have gained 2.2 million. And during this period, we produced just about as much stuff. So we did great improvement in efficiency with a lot fewer workers, about a third fewer workers. Now, this does not bode well as we start to take robots out of factory settings and put them into general purpose environments. We had discussion earlier from Uber Mobility, which formerly was Auto, and we all know that the end game of this is not to have human app-mediated drivers, but to have robots doing the driving. Now, this does not bode well for truck drivers. Truck driving being one of the most common occupations in the US outside of retail. There are 3.6 million truck drivers. There are 8.6 million people who support truck drivers in positions like diesel mechanics or waitresses at truck stops. And the same technology that's going to permit us to put trucks on the road that drive themselves is also going to permit us to make Flippy, the burger flipping robot, when people are striking for $15 an hour in fast food. And it's not just blue-collar jobs, it's white-collar jobs too. Radiologists, AI, and computer vision are going to take care of that job. Now, this is a big problem. It's so big that McKinsey estimates that by 2040, up to 47% of existing professions will be automatable. Not necessarily automated, but automatable. Now, there are naysayers to this. People like Rodney Brooks, who have been in robotics for a long time. Rodney Brooks was co-founder of iRobot and Rethink Robotics. He thinks we're suffering from exponential thinking. We've been following along with Moore's Law for the past 50 years. Our computers have been getting faster and faster, but Moore's Law is reaching a limit to what it can do physically. It may not be an exponential curve, it may be an S-curve, flattening out at the top. And we may not see the types of gains we've seen over the past 50 years over the next 50. And if you look at state-of-the-art robots, like this research robot, you may start to believe Rodney, because it's a really hard task for this robot to go fetch a book for this patient. It involves POM-DPs, natural language processing, computer vision, motion planning, lots of very complicated things. In fact, if we take a look at this Atlas robot, which is famous for doing backflips, it has a lot of trouble stacking this box. It has a lot of trouble because it doesn't know what things around it are. Those fiducial markers on the box are telling Atlas what that box is. Everything else, it's not so sure. Now, let's look at this other robot. This is a robot from 2006, 2007, doing a cleanup task, and it's doing it very admirably. Now, it is not doing this automated. How is it doing this? It's doing this through teleoperation. Now, if any of you ever tried to teleoperate a robot with a joystick, you will tell me this is almost impossible to do. So how are they puppeteering this robot? They're doing it with a mechanical gantry system, a Da Vinci surgical robot system that's been hacked for this robot. What we found at Brown is you don't need the expensive mechanical equipment to capture motion. Simple VR can create very intuitive interfaces for controlling robots. Now, this is just version 0.1 research. What happens when this gets commercialized? What happens is it means that labor gets disconnected from geography. So the local worker who's competing against other people making $15 an hour suddenly competes against the half of the world's population that makes less than $5.50 a day to do physical labor through a robot. That does not bode well for the person who's currently making $15 an hour. This future of us controlling multiple robots will need legislation to regulate it. It'll need licensure standards so that people controlling robots and influencing robots have to get licensed to operate the robot in a specific jurisdiction. If we do that, we can preserve local jobs controlling robots, and we can have jobs that control multiple robots to one human. Now, if you think this is science fiction, you just have to look at Starship Technologies, which deploys drones or little street robots in DC and San Francisco. They, when they get stuck, call back to Estonia, where a human drives the robot over the curve and gets it out from being stuck. This is not science fiction, this is today's technology. It means we're going to have to adapt things like our basic safety nets to deal with the fact that we are going to have this unemployment boom. Things like UBI, you may not have heard much about it, you will be hearing more about it. But ultimately what we have to do is we have to focus on the big problems. Right now we have crumbling infrastructure, we have aging populations, we have trades which people are aging out of that nobody's moving into. We need to skill up and focus on these big problems and work together. And I think together, if we cooperate, we can create systems that will make the 21st century look as different and as sci-fi as the late 20th century would appear to someone in the early 19th century. And that's my message to you. We have to cooperate and skill up, and we can solve these problems. Thank you.